Hey, what's going on guys? One Up Eco here, and welcome to episode 10 of Scrimming Essentials, a weekly series where I'll be breaking down the basics of how to scrim in Fortnite. In this video, I'll be discussing how to VOD review and how to learn from your mistakes. Please leave a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. VOD reviewing. VOD reviewing is the crucial cornerstone for player development. VOD reviewing is used in other activities besides Fortnite. For example, in sports, players watch replays to learn about their mistakes and strategize against their opponents. This is the same concept that can be used to improve yourself in Fortnite. Whether you're reviewing your own gameplay or a pro, VOD reviewing is one of the fastest and most effective ways to improve your mechanics, game sense, and skill. How to VOD review. Learning how to VOD review is easy. Just simply take a video that you want to review and play it back while taking notes on the gameplay. For example, if you're VOD reviewing your own gameplay, write down what you do well and also what you can improve on. If you're analyzing a pro, write down what they do. If they have a really cool technique they always use, write down how they do it. If the pro player that you're reviewing makes a mistake, write down what they do so you can avoid it in your own games. To help you further understand how to VOD review, let's take a look at the pro VOD reviewer himself, Bala TW. When VOD reviewing pros, Bala TW always has a notepad out ready to take notes. From the moment they leave the battle bus to the moment they die, Bala TW is always analyzing their decisions and what they do and do not do. He writes down anything he finds interesting. For example, if a player decides not to go into a certain part of the building, they may have done that to avoid a fight or getting aggro from the henchmen. Each decisions that the pros make, no matter how big or small, Bala TW always makes note of it. Now here's where taking notes is really important. Because of those small little notes Bala TW made, he's able to connect the dots and see why players make certain decisions. For example, because Tfue and Scoped avoided those players in the early game, they were able to make it to mid-game after looting the vault and getting stacked loot. That loot allowed them to get multiple kills and pop off and eventually qualify. What seemed like a small initial decision made by them to avoid a fight led to them qualifying for a very important tournament. This is why taking notes on every decision pro players make is such an important concept. Now let's take a look at how to VOD review your own gameplay and how to analyze your own mistakes. VOD reviewing your own gameplay is incredibly similar to VOD reviewing pro players. You're still taking notes on what you do right and what you do wrong. However, you're also taking a more detailed look at the decisions and choices you make in your game. This is the perks of reviewing your own gameplay. Your train of thought will still be fresh in your memory and you'll know exactly why you decided to take that fight, why you decided to rotate that way, and the reasons behind your decisions. This will help you improve super fast because you'll be able to understand why you made those mistakes and how to avoid them in the future. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at an example of me VOD reviewing my own gameplay. So let's go ahead and start looking at this VOD review. This is a 31-point lobby, so pretty low lobby in the Hype Night Plus. That's why there's not that many people in zone. But the decisions that I make are still applicable to even higher elo lobbies. So let's go ahead and play it. So with a moving zone like this, I'm going to look to rotate, right? As you can see right there, there's a little bit of water. We're by Slurpy Swamps. So I'm going to be making probably a tunnel play here. So I inch forward, I look on top of the high ground to see if there's anyone there. And of course there is players there. So now I need to make a decision, right? There's a storm right behind me with just a few seconds left. And I need to make a decision how I'm going to rotate to this. So I can't go for height. So I immediately start to tunnel, right? I look back to make sure that there's, to see if it's contestable. And I see that this guy is really only on like 2 builds. And he does have an RPG though. So the smart move here would be to probably not go for a height, because I'll be like this player getting shot out with an RPG if this guy has more ammo. But instead, what I do is I sit in zone. Okay, I debate about whether or not I should do it. And because I do that, I inevitably end up taking storm damage, right? So that's 9 ticks, or sorry, 1 tick. Costing me 10 health. That's free health. I shouldn't be losing, health like that. So my first note, so don't sit in storm while thinking about your next move. Be proactive, not reactive. So what this means is, I don't want to be sitting in storm thinking about my next move. I want to make a move. It doesn't matter if it's a good or bad move. Just don't do what I did. Don't sit in storm and take free damage. So we're gonna keep on going. I end up taking height, so I got lucky. So now there's several players below me, right? I have ultimate height. So I start dropping down because no one else is building up, and I was going to connect to this silo. So this is what I mean by knowing what your decisions are, right? So I know, because I played in this game, that my original thought was to connect to this like house barn thing, so that if he were to shoot me out, I'd still be connected. So that's what I was initially going for. But I realized it's too far. So then I decided to look back, and I was like, oh snap, I'm super far from the silo. I don't think I can make it. You know, I try to build a little more, and then just realized, hey, what the heck, let's just build down. It's not worth it, because I don't want to get shot up. Now I see that the fight is happening, right? So I spent too long deciding on what to do. This whole entire fight had ended by the time I had reached, like even realized that it was even happening. I was on height, guys. I could have gotten these kills. So this was, you know, essentially a free point I could have gotten. So I know I said this before in my last notes, but this is really like the main takeaway that I've so far seen in my gameplay. I did it twice now, right? Before, I kind of reacted to the storm. Second time, I missed a kill, right? Because I wasn't taking an initiative. I was being slow in my decision making. So I need to be more fast. So this, I hesitate. So I see the fight ends, right? I missed that. I immediately scope in, but I'm too late. But you see that guy's head? I see his blueprints. My crosshair, I'm still looking at the guy who died. I'm not even looking at the guy down below. The guy down below is totally free. He's exposed. His head's right there. I could shoot it if I was paying attention, but I'm not. Right there. I saw his body for a split second, and I tried to go for the shot. My crosshair placement is totally off. So have good crosshair placement and don't hesitate. So don't hesitate while taking shots. Opportunity only strikes once, right? Because guys, if I was paying attention, I could have gotten free damage on him, and this could have changed the game. Because remember, I throw the game. There's only what, 2 players left. If I had gotten this kill right here, I could have won the game. It would have put me in a really good position. So I'm okay here. I start pressuring him, right? In this situation, I don't think you're ever gonna hit him. In my situation, I'm just wasting AR ammo. Pressuring second height is really good, but because he expects it, he's just gonna hold it, right? So he's just kind of expanding, he's doing his stuff. This is where I make a mistake, okay? Another mistake. I go to reload my AR without expanding, and the storm, number 1, is right behind me. Number 2, he makes an edit. He's looking back to shoot me because he knows I'm reloading. I don't expand, right? It takes too long. I make a bad decision. So, really simple mistake that I made right there. I just didn't build the head of zone before I reloaded. But because of this one mistake, right? He hits me for 20 damage. That might not seem like a lot, and it isn't. But, you know, if he had taken, you know, an extra half second to aim a little better, I could have taken a lot of damage. Maybe 100, maybe, you know, more. So it really just depends. So that was just a dumb play by me. This is another dumb play. Okay, I carelessly just fall off my own builds. And I try to place a ramp there, but I switch to my pickaxe too fast. So the builds don't place. And I fall. I take 20 fall damage. I look up. Notice that the player on height dropped down, right? The guy below me dropped down. And I don't know what I was trying to do here, but I guess I instinctively fired my gun thinking it was my shotgun, but it was my sniper. So, but this point still stands. Spend extra time with builds out to make sure you build. Because if I didn't fall, right, I'd still have height. And now we can pretty much expect where this is going, right? Considering I tried to no-scope him, right? I hit the no-scope and then I win the World Cup, right? Of course not. So I miss. He hits me for a lot of damage, right? I'm now sitting and I'm forced to go back up to heal. Now in most situations, I'd say this is a pretty good call, right? To back off to heal. However, this guy has an RPG. And so he shoots me out. I take a ton of fall damage and I die. What could I have done differently here, okay? To win the game. So, the simplest mistake I made that through the game made me take fall damage. I wasn't able to get the mini, so I died when I fell. Main mistake here was to simply build. But didn't I build? Yeah, I sure built. But did I build effectively? No. Right? I built up for height. I built cones. I took a flopper. I did what I could. And it was just unfortunate that I died, right? Well, no. No, it isn't. If we look back, remember how I had high ground, right? And I was spraying this guy. And then my dumb brain decided not to place a wall, so I get hit for 20 damage. And then my dumb brain decides not to build that one ramp. Guys, because I didn't place that one ramp, that one stinking ramp right here, that's the reason why I die. That's the reason why I lost the game. Because I failed to place this one ramp. If I had kept high ground, he would have been on low ground. He wouldn't know where I was. So he couldn't hit me with that RPG. Meaning that I could drop onto this hill, spray him out, I'd still have height. He could fire his RPG all he wanted, but I wouldn't take as much fall damage as I did here. I'd probably be playing a lot more smarter. I'd still be on 180 health, but I fail to place and react. And because of that, take the 20 fall damage. I look up, don't see him. I don't build here. After I fall, I don't immediately build. I mean, where else could he be, guys? He'd be right in front of me, right? On low ground. I should have built, but I don't. And I don't have my shotgun out. And I don't build, effectively making it a 50-50, but I don't know where he is. He knows where I am, so I take the damage. I lose the trade. All because I don't build a single ramp. It may seem insignificant. It really does. It may seem insignificant, but if this had been a more important tournament, if it wasn't Hype Night, if it was maybe FNCS or a solo cash cup, winning a game could mean the matter of placing and qualifying or not, right? So simple mistakes like this, they all add up, and that's why we're making a mental note. And I advise you guys to do something pretty similar to this. You don't have to do it, exactly the same format, but basically what I did was I took notes on the good things that I did, on the bad things I did, mostly bad, and what I could do better. So in this case, make sure I build, make sure I have my shotgun out as soon as possible in most situations, especially if I'm going for a close range engagement. I need to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings, and I need to make sure players, where they are before I drop down from height for a 50-50. So that's what I need to work on, and that's what I'm going to do. Once you finish VOD reviewing your own gameplay, immediately practice what you write down. Just like school, taking notes without practice won't teach you anything. As much as we all hate homework, in order to ensure you are learning and improving, you must immediately practice multiple times what you wrote down. Don't let your notes collect dust and be forgotten. Ingrain it into your playstyle and memory. This will ensure that you are improving yourself and the time that you spent VOD reviewing isn't going to waste. This concludes episode 10 of Scrimming Essentials. Huge thank you to UCX Arcos, Helpless Doggo YT, Mimicol, TRTL Clan, Uzair Memon, Nitrin S, Tuoni Vaba, Shells, and everyone else who's using code OneUpBeco in the item shop. Also, I have some really important tests coming up, so I'll be taking a week off to prepare for them. With that being said, thank you guys so much for all the amazing support. I really want to help you guys improve and get back to this amazing community, so I'll be offering free one-on-one coaching right here on YouTube. To receive this free coaching, all you have to do is fill out an application and join my live stream when I return. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and enable notifications to make sure you're aware of when I go live. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and have a great time scrimming.